Hello everybody, this is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations. I'm on a little over 10 minutes early, simply to go over supplies that you might need. I've got painty paper from my stash that I've created in the past that we're going to use with our rubber stamps to create some embellishments. And I did a couple beforehand simply because the leaf I was using was huge. And I wanted y'all to be able to see what I was doing. I feel like maybe I'm not quite square. And I know I'm early. So I've got a piece of foam, and that is strictly to stamp on, to put under whatever I'm stamping on to make sure that I get a nice clear stamp. I've got the painty papers in autumn colors. I've got Stays On ink, got some pigment ink, because you can use pigment ink with your embossing powders. So I got Stays On to do coloring work, Color Box to do the embossing with. I also pulled out some glitters, and that is not mandatory. That is if you don't have embossing powders. I thought I'd show how to do a decoration with just glitter and glue too. So let me get, I didn't pull the glue out. And then I've got a selection of stamps. This is the stamp. I got this at Goodwill for 89 cents. It had never been used. So it's the stamp I did offline, and it doesn't really stamp really clear on the painty paper. So that was difficult to see, but I got it cut out. And so then I stamped it again with the Color Box ink and did the embossing. And I'm going to show these two techniques with a leaf that is quick to cut out. I've also got this stamp, another Goodwill find for $1.89. Doesn't look like it's been used at all. And it's sunflowers. So I thought, how nice for autumn. And then I got a little oak leaf and some, yeah, these things. Oh my gosh. Nuts. We'll just call them nuts. And then I got a little, just a stick tree that I was thinking, if you stamp this out, the tree leaves are kind of open, so you could color it. And then I've just got like a little maple leaf. So I'm not physically going to do anything with this one. I just wanted to show you that I had it. I did it beforehand because it was so intricate to cut out. So I made 3 of those because when I add things to a journal page, I like to do groups of 3. And we are going to do a journal page today as well, depending on, how many things everybody gets pulled together. But we're going to work on our prompt list as we go along. So I'll just write things down, and then I'll number them, and I'll have, we'll work out how we're going to do the prompts. But I want to do a page in my Pick 10 journal. I determined to get that journal full eventually. So the only way to do that is to actually do it. Acorns. Thank you, Mina. Words. Someday words are so hard. I'm just having a day of trouble with words. So bear with me. So let's see. It's only 2:52. I don't want to really start until 3 o'clock. So what's everybody been up to? Is everybody going to play along today? I've got 5 people watching right now. I figure the room will fill up more closer to 3. I tried to announce it before midnight last night that I was going to be on. But then when I looked at the clock, it was like after 1 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah. So get your stamps and some painty papers. You may also want some even colored pencils, like Crayola colored pencils, or if you've got super tip markers. I've got both. So markers and pencils. We might want to increase the color, like on the flowers. When we stamp them out, we might want to increase them. So that's something to keep in mind. So I'm going to, on my drop paper, I'm going to start a list. And what we'll do is I'll get random.org to put them back in an order. I'm going to start it off to the side over here. So number 1 is leaves. Number 2 will be painty paper, because we might use the painty paper as our background. I might just decide how I want to do the page, and y'all can just follow along on how I would take prompts and do them. Feeding the kitties. Okay. That's fine. That's fine, Mina. I've got Bernadette in here with me because Tippy is in her crate and he won't move, so she can't go in her crate for her afternoon nap. Hi, Kathy. I'm going to write on here an autumn quote because we'll add that. And let's see. I'm going to put stencil on here. I'm creating a list for us to do a page with. Okay, I need 5 more random out of the wall prompts. I'm not going to tell you what I've already wrote down. You heard some of them, but just give me some random journaling page prompts that you would do. I need 5. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Mina. Hi, Ann. Hi, Kathy and Sharon. And Teresa is listening. There she is. Didn't see you down there. Trying to scroll back up. Doodle splatters napkins. Doodle splatters napkins. Book pages. And oh, a squirrel. Book pages and a squirrel. Almost missed the squirrel. All right, I got 10 prompts. So I'll do them in the order that I think would make for a really good page. That's what I like to do sometimes. If I don't participate along with the actual prompts, I'll take the prompts later and do them in the order that I can turn out a good page. So that's what we'll do with these. All right. So let's see. It's 2:56. We got 10 prompts. We're going to do a pick 10 after we play making some embellishments. And I've got a cup of tea there. So I'm going to show you how I did these leaves first. I'm not going to do any more of these because I got these. But I want a variety of leaves. So let's keep the leaves out for right now. We'll put those over there. And I think this is the closest I had to red for the maple leaves. So I'm just going to stamp some of these out with just the stays on, and then I'll cut them out. The foam really does help. If you put foam down when you're stamping, it really does help a lot. That's going to be hard to see, but I'm going to do my best. Might have to get it up to my nose, so y'all might not be able to watch me cut things out. But basically, I'm stamping, and then I'm going to quickly fussy cut these out. I don't know that I'll leave it stem because it's awful thin. That one I can see a little better. That one I got nice and dark so I can see it. I'm not going to try to go back over that other one. Okay. And I'm going to do one in the gold. It doesn't look like there's anything there, but there is gray ink. Okay, so set that one aside. I'm just going to sprinkle some of the embossing powder on here. I'll just turn this over and then I'll heat that up, and we'll have a gold maple leaf. And then I don't know, do y'all want to be able to see me fussy cut out? I'll have to move the camera over real quick. I figured fussy cutting, and I could watch chat, and we could chat a little bit while we're working on these things. No, Callie, no. Well, I thought the embossing powder was gonna get gone. All right, maybe knock that over the trash a little bit. All right, let's heat this up and watch the magic happen. Oh, okay, that's fine, Kathy. I have the quilt top is all pieced together. It's ready for borders, and I have the borders all cut out, and I pieced a border using the bricks and the squares that I had. So I'll do a video on that tomorrow for anybody following the quilting adventure. And see, I'm just using that color box ink as an embossing ink, and it works just as good as embossing ink, glue basically. All right, we'll cut these out, and then we'll do some of the oak leaves and some sunflowers. Oh, we need some of those acorns. So I guess now the fun part, we get to sit and watch Becky cut stuff out, I guess. And I camera over here. And boy, it doesn't like these stripes much, does it? I'm just going to kind of. Oh, and I'm keeping the little fabric, not fabric, but the little paper bits from where I'm trimming off. Because I thought it would be fun to do like a little collage of those, just random pieces on a piece of paper, maybe an ATC background. All right, let's move that wild piece off. There's a leaf on there and there. I'm going to do the gold one last so it can really cool off and be ready for me too. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Candy. Not going to leave the stem. If I want to, I'll draw the stem back on simply for ease of cutting out. And I'm not going to do all the little jagged edges on the leaf. I'm just going to kind of go around the edge. I'm not going to try to purposely get on every little leaf bit on this one. Yes, Callie, what is it, honey? Ow! Honey, I can't feed you right now. Your brother is in the dog's crate. She can't take a nap. She's got to take a nap on the floor on the blanket, which is not anywhere near as comfortable as her therapeutic mat in her crate. Stop it. Stop. Callie, stop. Callie, stop. She's digging on my chair. And they know when we're on the computer, don't they? Rotten little beasties. I'm glad everybody had a good laugh over the cats and me trying to do a video of putting a quilt together. That's real life around here, trying to do stuff with cats. Tippy really got a joy out of that quilt top on the floor, didn't he? He came flying through. Scott was laughing. He watched the video when he got home from work, and he was in the other room on his computer, and he was just laughing and laughing. He thought it was hilarious. He is training people again this week. And the one that he thought was going to have the most promise and everything didn't show up for work on Monday. So he was a little disheartened. And I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe they just figured it didn't work out. And what young people do, they won't tell you they're not going to come back or they'll quit. Scott says they just ghost you. They just disappear. And I thought that's just awful. I would never think to do that at all. So all these pieces here, I'm saving off to the side to glue down randomly on a piece of ATC paper for a quick background. So there's one leaf, and it's just basically made with painty paper that I had in my stash. You could also, if you don't have painty paper and you want to cut out some stamped images that like leaves, you could just take a piece of paper and color it with crayons or markers. What's the matter, Bernie? It's the cat picking on the dog. But you could do that with the markers or crayons too. You just need colored paper, basically. Or if you wanted to, just use construction paper. I just thought it would be cool to have the leaves be in all these different colors and prints and textures. So for anybody that has not heard, the fourth Friday Time for Art Hop has been put off until November. And it will be dioramas. So don't be looking for us on Friday because we were not going to do it until I think it's the second Friday in November. We had some scheduling issues and that kind of thing. So it's okay to take a break every once in a while. And it just means our projects will come out even cooler because we'll have more time to think about it and plan it and do it. I might start mine and do process videos because what I want to do, and I'm kind of glad Mary put it off because what I want to do is quite involved and it will probably take me several steps to get to the diorama point. So that's why I was kind of glad when she said, Ann says she's so relieved. We just need more time, I think, to bring this idea to full circle. And I want to do some videos on the process because, like I said, what I want to do is kind of a lengthy process. And it turns out so cool. And I need to narrow down what I want, how I want it to be. Do I want it to be realism or do I want to add a bit of fantasy to it? So I'm kind of glad she put it off for a little bit. And then, well, let's see. Ann, are you going to do your room tomorrow? I can't believe it's Wednesday, you guys, already. Monday was an absolutely crazy day for us. We had to be at Costco at 10 o'clock. We had ordered tires and they had marked that they were in. So we went out there and I told Scott, I said, you go ahead and turn the car in and let them get started. And I will go and look for the things we need, like ketchup and, that kind of stuff. And he said, okay. So I went and started walking around and looking around, and it was taking forever. And so I walked back up where I could see the tire counter, and he was just standing there with a look of disbelief on his face. I said, oh no, something's not right. And finally he came and I said, well, how long is it going to take? And he said an hour and a half. So we had to walk around in there for an hour and a half. And he said the guys couldn't locate our tires. They couldn't find our tires. And he said, well, our name should be on the tires. We ordered them weeks ago, So Scott was, getting a little warm around the neck. And the guy was very apologetic. And finally they found the tires and they could get started, but it was going to be an hour and a half. So we took our time and we looked at things, that we hadn't got before or, hadn't priced before out there. Some things are a good deal. You have to really watch. You pay that fee. You don't want to end up repaying the fee, paying more than you would in a regular grocery store. So you have to know your pricing. And seems like every time we go, we never are in a state where we can buy like frozen goods. Like we don't have a cooler with us, or we don't know how long we're going to be in the store. Is stuff going to thaw out before we, check out or whatever? So we didn't get any of the frozen goods. And quite frankly, I did not care for their frozen fruit. And see, I use frozen fruit mixes on our oatmeal because I will heat the fruit up with just a tiny little bit of butter, because one of the vitamins I take for my eyes is fat soluble. So I put just a little butter in a pan and put the fruit in there, and I let it cook while the oatmeal is cooked. So it's like a fruit sauce. I don't add any sugar because sugar's a big no-no. But, when you cook fruit, it turns to even more of a sugar on its own. So we don't need the sweetener. So I'll get my fruit at Aldi's. I like Aldi's fruit just fine. And it's half the price of Food Lion. So you just have to pay attention to your prices. All right. So there's some of those leaves. And I think, let's see. We got these leaves I did beforehand. And then we've got these little leaves. So I'm thinking a leafy border on my page. Now, I pulled this greeny yellow piece that was basically a roll-off, I think. I'm not going to do that one. I might do that oak leaf on one of these that's more like this. On this one, I wanted to do the flowers and then I might just use those two leaves. I don't know. Let me think on it. I'm trying to decide if I really want to do more leaves or if that'd be enough. It wouldn't hurt to do more. But I want to do this one. This is painty paper. Painty paper. This one I just want StazOn ink because I want to be able to color it with the super tips. The thing about the super tips is they're water soluble. So you have to think about that. I guess if I use colored pencils, that would be better. This one's never been used before. So I'm trying to really ink it up good. And I'm using a brown StazOn, the timber brown, because it's more autumnal. I'm just gonna and then press. So I don't know if anybody saw that Deborah Brown was able to go home without having to go to the rehab place because she rocked it and did 1,000 feet on her own. So she got to go home. So Deborah Brown is at home. Hi, Nettie. This is another thrifted stamp that had never been used. I don't know what it's going to look like under here since this is the first time it's ever been used. But I'm pressing pretty hard and I've got the piece of foam under it. Let's see what happens. Oh, you know what? It's the ribbing in the roll off of paint, but that's going to give it kind of a interesting texture, isn't it? Let me clean that off real quick. You stay with Mom, okay? Don't wander off. Oh, look, this stamp was originally $14. And I got it for $1.89 at the Goodwill. Since this has got stays on it, and I don't know where my stays on cleaner is, I'm just going to kind of scrub it off. Good enough. All right, I'll go ahead and do some oak leaves on this one. It is a pretty stamp. And I'll take some time and color those. And see, I'll cut those apart so I'll have multiple ones I can use. This is one of those you can get at Michael's in their dollar bins. I'm not going to make any of these gold. I'm just going to have these as random pieces on the page. Maybe I'll do 5 of these instead of 3. All right. I don't know why I closed that. I'm going to use it. Scrub that off a little. Let's do some acorns. Let's see. Do I have one that's more brownish? That one we need to leave because we're going to use that one. Here we go. Here we go. Callie is really being a naughty girl. This has got some gold in it. If I stamp this 3 times, I'll have 6 acorns to choose from. Let's do one over here. And do one here. One there. Good enough. All right. So I think that'll give us enough to decorate our page after we color some. So I'm going to just chat and color. And I want to do our page. I'm ready for the page, but we got to do this other stuff first. So I'm going to move you back over here real quick, because I think you can see. I didn't really need any more stamps, but for $1.89, we are really missing our Travelers Rest Goodwill up there in Greenville area, because the ones down here are not very good. Yeah, you could do that, but I'm planning to color these, so I would need to see the lines. You could stamp it on the back and then cut it, color it. Cut it out. Do you want me to do something like that to see what it looks like? I can do that. There might be enough ink, left on that stamp. Let's see. I'm gonna do one right here. See, I can still see to color them. Cut them out, not color them. Let's just see what it looks like. We'll experiment right here. I'm just going to get these cut from the big sheet. Yeah. Okay. We'll get our other leaves here. Of course, now if you wanted these to look more like real leaves and have some texture, you know, you could probably crumple the paper and then open it back up, and the leaves would have texture to them if you wanted to. I don't know if y'all want to sit and watch me cut leaves out or not, but that's the name of the game. Yeah, you could carve your own stamp, or you could make a foam stamp. You know, just draw a leaf shape on this stuff. You might want to layer it, you know, cut your shape out and then glue it to this and cut it out again so it's a little thicker, and then glue it on cardboard, and you can make a stamp out of this stuff. It actually works really good with like paint. I meant to have a quote printed off, an autumnal quote to add to my page. But y'all didn't know you were going to come to watch me cut things out. I would like to get a date stamp so I could just stamp the date on my pages. You know, the old date stamp things that we used to get our bank books. Y'all remember bank books? When you'd put money in your account, they would write down the amount and then stamp the date on it. Doesn't that just seem so alien anymore? Because now we just look our balance up online, on our phone, on our computer. And they just give you a print off sheet. You don't have a bank book to keep track of your money anymore. It's a little oak leaf. Now remember, I'm saving these aside for a separate project. You have a date stamp? I need to get one. Let me write that on here. Date stamp. That'll go on my next order. My next random weird order. You know, the ones that you do that have like molasses, a date stamp, 3 yards of something. You know, those weird orders you like to get. We all do it. I know we do. Order things. And then Scott will say, next time you do an Amazon order, he'll add something even more obscure to the mix. An oil can was the last one. So I think I had a jar of mixed seeds that we put on our oatmeal. I had an oil can, some punches. In fact, this just came today, a little autumn punch of a oak leaf. And then I think I just got a small maple leaf came in. I got those for the diorama project. And I'm thinking, I showed some of the ladies my exploding canvas that I did before. I'm thinking of doing this in small scale. We'll see how it turns out. So what is everybody's current project? I know that a lot of people are doing clusters. I was watching Mary's video before I came on of her clusters she did this morning. So if you missed that Mary was on this morning, Mary was on this morning and she did clusters. And Janet Nash has a video up on clusters. And she showed the little mailbox that gets yarn bombed. Did y'all see that? Somebody had taken the summer scene that they did off from it and put on an autumn one, and it had a hedgehog and a mushroom and all these other things. And you know, I never see anything like that around here. I'm about to die to go downtown Columbia to the art museum because they have one of those Artomatic machines, and I just want to go get something out of the Artomatic, and I want to see if Shannon Green has something in the machine near me. I know a lady that I met that lives in Spartanburg, and she does Artomatic. So I'm thinking some of her stuff might be in there. Ought to do a video when we go find the Artomatic. It'd be nice to have, like, I think they're $5 for each time you get a piece of art. I think it would be fun to take enough money to get one of each person's artwork out of the machine. Wouldn't that be fun? Wonder how many it holds. Do y'all know how many packs of cigarettes used to be in those old machines? I'll have to look up and see and count and see if I can have enough $5 bills with me to, I think it's $5. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh, okay. Hey, Violet. I'm just cutting out leaves. It's kind of boring right now, so you didn't miss much. I just stamped leaves, and now I'm cutting them out of painty paper. I was going to see how long this takes. I might go for a while today because I haven't been on for 2 weeks, so I might go longer. I know some other people have taken over on Wednesdays, you know, since the spot was open, because I've been slack. Sorry, I've been slack, but I've been kind of busy on that quilt. And sometimes you just have to take time to make your thoughts clear again, especially when something off the wall happens that you weren't planning on happening. Oh, Lord, I would need a lot of money, wouldn't I? Each row holds 18 pack. Well, we might not. We might do $20 worth. Yeah, I couldn't remember what those were. I was looking at them, and Mina came to the rescue and told me what they were. Acorns. You know, nuts. I don't know if we're allowed to videotape inside the art museum, but the art museum here is really lovely. I know in the State Museum, which is an old mill, there's areas of it where no photography is allowed at all. I'm saving all my bits off to the side. I'm going to do an experiment here in just a minute. We might end up having enough stuff made here to do maybe a 2-page spread in my Pick 10 journal. Although I have been doing, I think I've been doing that one as a single-sided journal where I wasn't doing anything on the backs, because what I do on the backs in there, if I remember right, is I write the prompts used on the page on the back. And the date, I put all the information on the back of those pages, if I'm remembering right. Some days the mind is better than others. I know Violet knows what I mean. I'm going to have to stand up because my foot is doing crazy things again today. So I'm just going to stand up. I'm not going anywhere, Bernie, so you don't have to get excited. She'll jump too, even though she can't see. She hears me stand up, and she's ready to G-O. I can't say the word. She'll be going crazy. She got her hair did, you guys. Let me show you Bernie real quick. She got her hair done. There she is. She's all pretty now, and she smells good. She's Mama's dog today. The cats are having a fit, though, because they're not getting their lunch. I wish I could cut faster, but if you try to cut too fast, you end up cutting yourself. Lori Montana would say her Cocker Spaniel loves Bernadette. I haven't seen Lori in a while, but then I've been so sporadic with my lives. I think I stay at 3 o'clock because the guys have left for work and I'm still kind of alert. I'm noticing as the days get darker earlier, my body gets tired and it just doesn't want to do after like 6 o'clock. It's like I'm ready to veg and watch somebody else. The other night, though, I felt so bad because I couldn't stay at Mary's. I'd only had like 3.5 hours of sleep the night before, and I had to go to sleep. And as soon as I told everybody good night there, I went laid down and I was out. Scott said I didn't make another sound the whole night. Well, I probably snored, but because he tells me that all the time, but he's just as loud as I am. I told Scott the other day, I said, it's almost time for us to go to the beach. Everybody else will not want to be there, so I might like to do a day trip. Maybe we'll go down to Edisto Beach. It's down by Charleston. I'm not real interested in trying to get around in Charleston. It's pretty crazy down there. But I wouldn't mind going to Edisto. What would be even more fun is to drive out to Hunting Island. It's the island furthest out into the ocean. You have to go through a lot of causeways to get out there on the island, but you can drive all the way out to the island. It's just sometimes you have water all the way around you. And if you're not used to that, it's a little on the unnerving side, but I love Edisto for that very reason, Violet. It's so quiet. And then in the winter, that and Jekyll Island down in Georgia, those are both so lovely in the winter because you get all to yourself, basically, because nobody goes to the beach in the wintertime. All right, Sharon, I'm going to cut these that I did on the back. Well, I think if you did like this, if I stamp this out twice, one on one color and one on another, I could make the caps on the acorns a different color. That would be a good thing to do. I'm not a very good fussy cutter, especially if I start trying to hurry. All right, so that's what that looks like. And see if not punch it. If I stamp it out on the back of another one and just cut the cap out, I could just glue the cap to the top and I'd have an acorn with different colors. Anybody watching anything interesting lately? I've been watching Midsummer Murders on YouTube while I quilt because I've seen them all. So it's just something to have on in the background, for noise. So let's get that stamp back out and let's maybe use that other piece. Let's get this one and we'll stamp on the back of this with the stays out. And all I'm going to cut out this time is the caps, if I can get the ink open. So if you stamp on the back and it's got different pieces to it, this would be a good way to not have the lines on the front. I just wanted to clean off as much of that as I could while I had it out here. Let's do these right here, the first one I did. I might end up having to trim a little bit if I don't cut it exactly the same as I did that other one, but that's okay. So not over. That one goes on here. That I'll have to trim a little bit. So that looks pretty cool. That's thanks to Sharon Lombard. Right. Oh, I don't have a refill? Yeah. I just hadn't put it in. Yeah, I showed Barbara Clark my Inktober from 2019 the other day, where I did the Inktober prompts and I used just a black Bic pen. Now, can I remember how these go in here? This way? No, it goes down in there. Oh, it's been a while. Like this? Yeah. that in there. Did I not do it right? There it goes. Okay, I'm starting to get worried. Did I find the Sharpie gel pens? I have not. If you look up Inktober, you'll get the list for 2021. And then other people are doing, like Kathy's saying here, she's doing Zentangle, and I think Barbara Clark is doing a Zentangle as well. So I think there are several different lists. So I guess it depends on who you choose to follow. Because I know Peg and Shell are doing something different. They've got a list of characters to come up with. Oh, let's see if I can line the stem up. I can always trim it if I've got a little bit past. It's got some right there I need to clean up. I got one of those $5 rewards at Joann's that I need to use, I think before the 11th. But you know, they've got all those stipulations. It's so hard to use your reward once you earn it. All right, so I've got those two cut out. And I got my oak leaves. Did I cut all the oak leaves out? There should be 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got some acorns. We'll cut out some more acorns. You can never have too many of them. Yeah, Kathy said this is her 4th year and she's never used the list. That's funny. I can't see. I can't see where the stem is. I can see how helpful it is to stamp on the back and then cut them out, you know, and do piecing that way. So I would think that would be a good way to do paper piecing, like one of those stamps. If you wanted to just paper piece and not have the lines. See, I cut over my line. My mind's like, we need to do the page. There's no hurry. Stop rushing me, brain. Those that can stay, and those that can't can watch the replay. I've got quite the pile of little scraps over there. What was it? One year Shell did gnomes. And then I think that was about the time I thought, oh, fun, I'll do gnomes. But I was doing mine in much bigger scale than Shell C had done her little gnomes. Or did she do sand? I don't remember. It's been a while. See, that looks like that should come up. I don't know. And if I'd been thinking, I could have colored the caps on different color when they were still in one piece. So I'll just cut these out plain. Just straight out cutting these out. We did a try at cutting out from stamping on the back. So we'll just do this as kind of a little, we'll try it all different ways. So let's use some, I'm just using Crayola colored pencils, more thrifted stuff. So things that you can get at the thrift store, rubber stamps, colored pencils. I see colored pencils all the time. Yep. Watch the replay if you have to. Let's see. Let's take this dark color. I'm going to move this foam because we don't need it anymore. I'm not stamping anything else. I'll put it back. Train's going through. This is black. I don't know if I want black. I thought it was dark brown. I'm glad I read it. This one says brown. I don't put a lot of pressure because you can layer color easier than you can try to take color away. If you get it too dark right off, you can't go back. But if you go light touch and go over it multiple times, you can create shading and value with one pencil. You don't need the whole set. You can get a different effect just by taking your time and layering the color. And because this is painty paper, it's already got a bunch of color on it. All right, so I've colored that a little bit. And then what if we take a Sharpie, just a fine point Sharpie, and add some texture to the cap? I think this is the one I used. Mina has 1,001 ideas at the drop of a hat, I think. So if you, in fact, I've got Acorns right in a jar. So you can see what one looks like to know what to add. I even got some of the huge caps from the ones down by the river. I found these as I was getting ready to come on. Look at these. And then these are some purchased ones because that's not a real acorn there. This one's a real acorn. You can see it's got the little spikies on it. So we could add some of those. I'll get one that's not a double. We'll pull that out. Scott could tell you exactly what those are called. I can't remember what they're called. I go quiet when I start concentrating. I'm sorry, guys. They kind of go in between each other. And then down toward the edge of the cap, they seem to get really close together. And the stem comes out like that. I'm just darkening that up just a little bit so it'll be easy for me to cut it out. I'll start talking again here in a minute. So I missed whether I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry, Anne. Anne usually opens her room in her group at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And you guys, you can come in anytime into those rooms. Because sometimes we don't get off until 6:30 p.m. Eastern. That's how chatty we get. And I just love to look at this in the jar, even the fake ones. What's your granddaughter's name? Hi. I have a friend. Well, she's the mom of my son's childhood bestest friend, and her name is Marv, and she has a crochet group that she started up in Facebook. She lives local, but she does some amazing crochet, and she's got the cutest grandbabies. I can say that because her son calls me his second mom, like Greg calls Marv his second mom. But Marv comes up with some really cool crocheted pieces. There's one. We're going to have all different kinds of acorns on our page. What do we got left to do? Oh, I want to choose one of these flowers because I'm not going to color them all. I'm going to choose one to add to my page. Let's see. Which one do I want to do? I think I will use the Super Tips. I'll just have to remember that so I don't try to do water soluble over the top. So, oh, I had some more acorns here. Might as well cut them out. Aww. They start chattering about that age, don't they? I'm not around little ones very often. My sister Robin, she teaches elementary, so she's around kids all the time. All right, we got some acorns cut. Now, which one of these do I want to play with? I think I'm going to go for this one simply because it printed out the clearest. And I am going to go ahead and cut it down to its square size here. All right, these I'll save for another day. Just getting some super tips to play with. I had a different green. That one doesn't even belong in there. That belongs over there. Well, I'm trying to miss the little bits of flower that come up. I might have to get that stamp so I can see what this. Let's see here. Let's see. Of course, it's the one with the price tag still on it. They had to put two price tags, $1.89 and $1.89. Sometimes I wonder why they put so many tags on. All right. All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to put the darker part down closer to the center of the flower, and then I'll put the lighter yellow on up the petals. This one's like one that's not opened yet. Callie, stop. Stop. Sorry, she digs on my chair. Drives me bonkers. Janet's going to post the prompts for Inktober. We're only in to day 6, so if you wanted to start it now, I mean, it wouldn't take you much to catch up. Put some color all over it. Might need to add some brown to the middle. That's the beauty of the stamped images. You can turn them into whatever flower you really want. If you wanted something really, you know, make-believe, you could make this some weird color. But you know what I'm thinking this actually is a bachelor's button, which would be blue. So maybe mine is a little whimsical instead of being real. Because I think this is a bachelor's button now that I'm looking at it. But we're going to go with it. There's some more yellow down here that I didn't see. Petals, not yellow, petals. I knew what I meant. These super tips seem to wick. So it's like if you try to color, it's not good. Do little dots and it wicks out. It's interesting. Almost act more like watercolors. I guess it's because they're water soluble. Now if I could find the other green, we're going to call this good, and we'll start on our page. Here we go. This is a lighter green. And I'm going to leave the background kind of mottled. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And then I think what I would like to do is create a darker frame around it. And I think I'll use my brown. Well, I didn't need to throw that over the edge. Sorry. I think these markers are water soluble, so I'm going to have to be careful how I put everything down. And I'm just going to leave a little bit exposed. Run this marker. Give me a little brown frame around the edge. So we've made some stamped image embellishments. We got some leaves and acorns and a little flower. So let's do a prompt page. I've already got the prompts, and I'm going to choose the order that we do them in. I'm not going to do anything with my little bits today unless we have more time. Let's see, it's already 4 o'clock. So I need a page for my... Is this the right paper that goes in? I want to make sure this is the right. This is the Pick 10 I did with Lisa a long time ago, you know, and we did the pages. I think this is the right paper. Yeah, that's what I thought because it's in here. But this was Janet's prompts that we did one day. Yeah, and her prompts are in the envelope. This is the day she did the belly band, and we had to have something put on there. And that's why Janet's prompts are very random. Did this with Mary, April 16th. So let's do one of these Pick 10s. I bet I did that one with Mary too. Yep, in February. In February, we did this Christmas one. It's crazy. What do you like, Mary? Oh, dear. Oh, she was fun to do. She's coming loose. No, I don't. I don't have a specific time. I can stay on a long time if I need to, or I want to. I'm going to put some of this glue all on here. She's close. We can't have that. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And there's a little rat on her shoulder, and she's got one on her hat. She was a lot of fun to do, and I added the sunflower to her hat. And you can see in here, I like to leave a border. So I'm going to tape my background to the table and leave that like 1/4 inch. This one I did with Beth. She did a roll of Picasso after Barb Owen had been doing them. Beth came up with one, and that's the one I did with Beth. This one was a roll of Picasso that I did with Barb Owen. And this one was, let's take a break session. Okay. This is one I did in my lives. Back when we still lived up at the little house. I like this one a lot. This one was done on my channel. It's got a lot of texture to it because we glued string to it and everything. I'm just looking back here. This one was done on my channel from November. And then this one was done with Lisa. So let's do an autumn page to add to my Pick 10 journal. And y'all can do it on anything you want to. You don't have to do the same thing if you don't want to. Masking tape. And I just kind of eyeball this. Let's see. There we go. Isn't it fun to look back through? Is there 2 pieces there? No. I'll try to write down the... I just like to do this and have the border around it. Don't ask me why, I just do. All right. So I'm looking at the list. So if I look at this, I see things that I would like to leave until the end, like the leaves and the quote. And I said border. So for me, the border would be probably number 11. The quote would be the last thing I add. So that, no, that'll be 10. Won't be that. Okay. 9 would be the border because we're only doing 10 prompts. Let's see. All right, I've got them in the order that I would like to do them. So that's how we're going to do them. So prompt 1 is your painty paper. So pick some painty paper. That'll be your background. Painty paper. So I'm going to pick one from my stack I've already pulled out. Which one? I'm going to go with this one because I don't want too strong of colors because I've got to be able to see my leaves. We're going to do other things on top of this. So what I'm going to do, because I want the tape border, I'm going to measure my space here and cut my paper out. Let's see, I just had that ruler. So about 6.5. Yep, about 6.5 by I'm going to do 6.5 by 8.5. Sorry about the blingity bling I keep getting, but it's okay. Let's see, I'll put that on there. And I'm not worried that it's not going all the way to the edge because, you know, we have other prompts that we will put down. So basically get this glued to your page any way you want to. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is pull a piece of this off the edge with a jaggedy edge on it. Maybe not quite that much white showing. All right, so I've got the painty paper. So that was number 1. Number 2 is going to be napkins. So what I'm thinking is, what if before I put this on my page, what if I put a napkin onto the top of the painty paper? Let's see, what do I have here as far as napkins? Somewhere I have more napkins. I have this crow. Let's just pull the crow off. I'll save these for another time. All right. So I'm going to use the painty paper, and it was going to be my first idea. But now I'm thinking, what if, get the backing off first off. Yeah, so I was telling the girls the other day what I did. One of the postcards I did for Janet, she had lace and all this other stuff that kind of stuck out on the postcard. And I just crumpled up like the back of one of these napkins and opened it back up and just covered the whole postcard I was doing. And this glued down over everything. It just kind of melted away and everything was still visible. But this kind of sealed the whole top of it. So that's an idea for your backs of napkins. All right. This is what I'm thinking now. I'm going to do the first two prompts in stages and maybe put this down on my page, the two stripes. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I'm going to put these two stripes down on the page. Then apply my painty paper in there. Just have this kind of peeking out here and there. And then put this scroll on here down toward the bottom maybe. Yeah, let me get something to put him down on. Right, so let's do this in stages. It's all Cheryl's fault. That's okay. Y'all can bling away. I should have turned my phone off. I'll let you bling away. Bernadette, you stay here? No. Come here. I didn't put that down for you. The kitty wanted it. You have to leave the kitty's food alone. No, you are not being cute right now. That's naughty. Giving extra wags doesn't make it okay. Okay? Well, we're going to go with that being crooked because I can't seem to do it any other way right now. Texture, right? Bernadette. Ma'am. Get back in here. Come on. Over here. You're being sneaky. Yes. Sneaky. I'm not going to worry about whether some's showing still when I layer it, but I could rip that paper. There's nothing saying I can't rip that paper smaller, right? Myself. It's my page. Do what I want. Do what I want. Let's just tear a little strip off. My napkin has book pages on it, right? No, I'm going to do book pages. So number 1 was painty paper. Number 2 is a napkin. This is going to end up getting buried in the background anyway. Uh-oh. I didn't put any more over here. I almost need a card to smooth this out. This'll work. Martha Stewart thingamabob. Okay. It's been a while since I've made a mess. I've been so worried about getting paint and stuff on my workspace with working with all that fabric. So, like I said, it's been a while. It's been a minute, right? All right. So that takes care of my book paper and some of the napkin. All right, we got to put book paper on after we get this crow on. So I'm thinking, okay. I'm thinking. This will knock some of this purple back in here. All right, let's put the napkin on. Hopefully I won't glue the tape down so good I can't get it loose. And you know what I forgot to do when I put that tape down? Is to run it on my arm a little bit to remove some of the adhesive. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Is that going to stick, you reckon? All right, so now we need number 3, book pages. Almost put that glue brush in my tea. Book pages. I've got some little bits of book pages here. I might just use some of those, put these bits in that pile of bits. So I'm just going to glue some random bits down here. You can tell I'm not using paper that likes wet medium because this is bubbling all over the place. But we're going to go with it. I usually use mixed media paper, but I don't know what I have cut up. I like that image of that other crow on there. So I don't worry if my letters are right side up, wrong side up, or any of that. I just put them down. That's a little strip that was cut off another project because it's kind of stiff. All right, book pages. Is that the last thing that we need for this? I'm going to highlight the pages that are the things we've already done on here for my own brain. Painty paper, book pages. All right, the next one is stencil. So let me put, I don't know why this is not screwing down even. There we go. Stencil. Stencil. Whatever stencil book I pull out is the one I'm going to use. We'll find something in here we can use. Let's see. Well, these are the ones that I still need to punch out. So maybe that's not a good method. Certainly there's something in here I can use. Let's see here. These are all kind of summary. Let's see here. I'll just do this little guy here. Actually, he's almost spring-like. I'm not liking the stencils in the ones I pulled out. It'll be the last book I pull out that all my good stencils is in. All right. This is the one I was thinking. We'll use that one. All right, this needs to be dried a little. All right, Cheryl. I figure I'm on right at dinner time, so that's okay. I forgot how small these pages are in this journal, because those big leaves probably aren't going to work very good that I did, these great big huge ones. We'll see. All right. Well, maybe I should do a smaller stencil to cover the rest of the background. It's like the surface of the water across this page. It's very bumpy. Let's see what else we got here. This is just not calling circles to me. You know, I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to use black. This is a paper stencil, so I won't be able to wash it. Janet, your hearts went today. And Mina, I know I owe you some autumn decorations. I sent those ATC backgrounds. I don't know if they've made it to you or not. If they haven't, I'll send you some more. But I owe you some fall things that I promised I'd send in Happy Mail. It's just I came across those and I said, oh, those were supposed to go. And then I forgot I was going to include some other stuff. So I'm going to fix you up a goodie box and send it out. And I got my package that Ann sent me. I got a postcard from Judy Payton. And I got envelope from Violet. She sent me some fun stencils. I should have pulled one of those out and used it. Durr. I need to do a major cleanup where I've been pulling things out all over the place. That almost looks like a fence. Let's bring this one down lower. It needs a little bit more. Yeah, the one in Columbia is not far from me at all. It'd be fun to find Shannon's stuff, and there's another YouTuber that does it. Who else does the automatic? I know the lady up in Spartanburg. I've met her. Maybe that's something I could get Scott to do with me this weekend. Oh, that's cool. It looks like a fence. And maybe I'll just whisk this up here through here on the background on the rest of it as part of my border piece. Stormy night. It was a dark and stormy night, and a crow came flying in and sat on my head. All right. Don't have water to stick this in. This has to just dry with the paint on it because it's cardboard. All right, so that was number 4. Number 5 is going to be add the leaves. So we need to add our leaves that we made, and so I need to dry this. Yeah, I've looked for them to find out their locations, and the one in Columbia is just across the bridge. It's probably 15 minutes from my house. So that's the one I'll probably go to. So we're going to add some leaves. And I did put on here to add our little flower focal image, but that's something you can just randomly do if you want to, or choose that as an alternate. All right, I've got my tape here. It's See, I just think this is going to be way too big for the page. So I'm not going to use my great big leaves on this little page. Go ahead and move those out of the way. But I'll use the acorns and these leaves here. I'm just dry fitting them onto the page right now. And then maybe stick these on there. Or maybe I should put these on first because they don't have any stems. So put these on. Maybe put one up here at the top. One in this space here. And one down here. Then I've got this golden one here. No, ma'am. I heard your bones creak. Girlfriend, you can't get away with that. Might need to let her outside. No, it's just overkill. Just playing with placement. All right, let me let Bernadette outside. Maybe stick this gold one up here. You want to go outside? Come on. I'm going to pick you up, take you outside. Oh, you're being tricky. You're being tricky. No, I'm not going to let you have the cat food. No, no kissing. Kisses don't help. No, you don't get to kill me either. All right, let's glue some leaves down. If we glue them down, they'll be down and I won't have to think about them anymore. So stick your leaves on. I'm just going to use some glue all. Just kind of spread it around with my finger. I can always add more glue if it doesn't stick. Well, I don't know if anybody's ready for the next one or not. It won't take me long to stick these leaves down that we made. We'll see. It's kind of lost in the layers at the moment, but I think with the doodles and the border and the quote, we can pull it back together. Oh, that's the stem of that one. no, 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 no. Get out. I'm getting glue everywhere. All right. While I'm gluing the leaves down, I'll give you 6. 6 is a squirrel. Squirrel! Squirrel. Squirrel with the addition of a cat hair because it's sticking to my finger. Because the cat just jumped up here. Because he's like that. Oh, Cheryl, you didn't have to do that, but thank you. Thank you very much. You guys, my fingers are so sticky. They're really bad sticky. I want to leave that word darkness there. Trying to think, do I want to substitute for squirrel? Because I might not use the acorns. I don't know. Should I use the acorns? Because to add a squirrel to be sized right, he would have to be pretty big. I'm thinking. Think. All right. Oh, these are those wet ones that don't go with glue well. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Y'all are so sweet. Let me go wash my hands with real soap and water. Because for some reason, those wet ones just make the glue. Oh my goodness. That stuff didn't hardly want to come off. Acorns too, or no? What do you guys think? I'm wondering if the acorns will fit through the Xyron so I don't have to use glue. That's what I'm hoping. I'm tired of glue. I love this little thing to make stickers. I have to order a refill on this. All right. Woohoo! That'll make adding the acorns easier. Janet says, yes, acorns. Okay. Uh-oh, I almost overlapped those. That's not. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do the squirrel or not, Nina. Because I've got this big old raven on here. Squirrel was the next one. I might use acorns instead of squirrel. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do acorns. So you can add acorns or a squirrel or a squirrel. If you want to do both. Mm-hmm. Mina demands the acorns. All right. I can get this cover plastic off. That leaves the stickers there, and the rest goes in the trash. All right. So after these acorns, number 7 is supposed to be doodle. Looks like I've thrown everything at this but the kitchen sink. This is a very full page. All right. Now we're supposed to doodle. Doodle. All right, well, we'll doodle some. Let's see, what should I doodle with? Let's just get a black Bic pen. They seem to doodle the best. Anyway, I'm going to sit back down for a little bit. Put this stuff back on. This is supposed to have all these little dots here. I'm just going around the edge of the punched out shapes or cut out shapes. Let's see. Maybe the Posca pen. Yeah. Because the page is so dark, I got to thinking the Posca pen, just with a little bit of sketchy lines type action, might make all this leaves and stuff pop better. The important thing is not sticking your hand into what you've already done and smearing it, right? That's better. I like that better than trying to use more black. I'll do gold. I'll splatter with gold. Let's see. Doodle splatter is next. So we can splatter with gold. That'd be awesome. I will do that. When I'm doodling, I get quiet too. Sorry. Just how it is. I don't know if I'm going to go on that gold one or not. We'll just leave it. I made some corn chowder out of the cookbook Forks Over Knives yesterday, or was it the day before? I don't remember. And Journey wanted me to share the recipe. It was the first time I'd made this recipe, and it's a vegetarian recipe. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more vegetables to it because I had too much liquid in it. So it wasn't really chowder-like to me. It was more soup. So I'm going to turn it into more soup. All right. I'm wanting to underline this in white. So I'm going to. Darkness. And then I'm going to look up the lyrics to Hello Darkness, My Old Friend and put that on here somewhere. because I think that would be cool. Maybe just right along in here. Put some more of these little white dots on here. So we'll splatter with gold. So splatter is next. Color of your choice. Let me get some gold and a fan brush. I've got some wax paper right here that I can put. This isn't shiny enough. Actually, let's do it on this lid that I have. What I like is when you pull the tape off and it has a knife around it. That's my favorite part. I've come to talk to you again. I listened to the story behind that. He was doing a interview, and he said he'd gone into the bathroom. If I'm remembering it right, I think it was a bathroom. And he left the lights off, and he was sitting there, and that song came to him. But that was a pretty good story. Might be too much water. All right, let me get my little book. My little Dee Dee Willingham inspired cleanup book. I kind of like that one just the way it is. Here we go. This will be good. We'll just put some fan marks on it. Don't want to waste it, right? It is gold. Can't waste gold. Really pops on that green. All right, I'll let that set to dry somewhere flat. I'll wipe the rest of this off. Here, I'll put this back on the table. There. I'll take this brush to the kitchen and clean it good in a little bit. All right, so that was the splatter. I need to dry before I can go further. But then let's see, that's number 8. So 9 is border and 10 is the quote. So that's the page. And I'm just going to put on here, hello darkness, my old friend. And I'm going to try to use my old-timey label maker, but to use it, you have to really glue it down because that stickum doesn't hold. And I think for my border, I'm just going to do a black line around the edge before I pull the tape off. That's on the masking tape anyway. It'll take forever to dry on that. What time is it? It's after 5 o'clock. So that's 2 hours. That's almost my max these days. Plus, I need to get something to eat. So I'm going to finish this up. Anybody got any questions? For anybody new, this is what they call mixed media, because mixed media, you're using a variety of medias, which means you're using paint, paper, think up different things and you can come up with the idea of what it's doing. Now, I was thinking, I've got the black paint here. I was just thinking I could just get a brush and just do a brush stroke around the edge this time instead of using marker. This is a stiff brush. What if it's just a... Nettie's going to post hers in just a minute. Awesome. I'm just going to take this and do dry brushing as my border, which means you take off most of the paint and just, I'm going to scrub it. And I think I'm not even on the page. I'm on the masking tape. Hold, please. Let's see if I can see where the masking tape is. It looks like I'm going to have to cut that one acorn in half. Yeah, I'm going to have to take the time to cut that in half. I'll do a dry brushing, and then I'll come back with some real wet paint just on the edge. And we'll dry it good. So now if I get some wet and I just do... Yeah, see that one acorn? I'm going to have to cut it in half. Going along the masking tape, more on the masking tape than on the page. But you know what? It'll take me time to use that old-timey label maker and write that all out. So I'll just let this dry on its own. All right, I'll take these two brushes and stick them in water in the kitchen. Be right back. There's the rolls for the old label maker. I might have to rethink my idea. Oh, here it is. What color is in here right now? I don't want to use red. I'm going to use black. This black is green. This is black. This is reduced to $2. That might be why they don't half the time stick. If I use double-sided tape, it should stick, shouldn't it? Date and sign. Yes, ma'am. I will. Oh, let's put that in here. Date and sign it. I just had it open. There we go. Now, it's been a long time since I used this kind. The other, you just drop the thing in. That's not how these old-timey ones work. Not coming up. This idea may not work. I'm putting it in the wrong spot. No, surely it doesn't go there. It goes there. I think it grabbed it that time. Yep. Okay. H. I had one of these probably in middle school. I labeled everything. And then if you do a half squeeze, I still remember how to use it. Cool. N E S S, and then I'm going to cut that one off. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Hello, darkness. My half squeeze. Maybe the crow is darkness. I'm thinking double-sided tape is in order. So I've been thinking about a group project again. And I was thinking, I don't know if I want to start it today or not because I need to go eat. I had even thought about maybe taking a break and then coming back on to do a different project. That would give me time to clean up and pull things out that I want to do. Would y'all be up for a second of me today? And I'd come on about 7 or 8, maybe 8. So what I did is I peeled the backing off, and then I'm putting double-sided tape on it. Well, I'll come up with that and we'll do it another time. Not tonight. We'll save it for another time. I'll do it another time, Kathy. But what I would say is I'm going to show you, bring some envelopes next time we get together, and we'll do a little album, and we'll do it either your choice, whatever. Choose a paper pad that you have in your stash that's been there a while. Let's use our old paper up. I'll go get some, I'll just randomly grab a stack, or I'll pull one that I've had a while. But I'm thinking I've got those 8x8 sized packs that I'd like to use, and they would be perfect. Hi, Ruth. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And I want you to think about, let me see if I can find them real quick. Bring this size envelope. We're going to make a small journal together. So next week we'll do this. This is 3 5/8 by 6.5. And you can get these at the dollar store. They're just letter size, not legal size. You know, it's longer. This is for letters. And see, that would make a cute little page. So we're going to do a journal. I might actually make one up ahead of time as a sample. I've got plenty of envelopes. Scott hates this size envelope. So if I can use them up, that'll be something out of his hair. Bring that and a paper pad you've had in your stash a while. And we'll do that next Wednesday. All right. You ready for the reveal? We'll pull the tape off. Remember, pull slow so you don't pull the paper apart. Because if it starts to pull, you can stop and work your paper loose from the tape. But if you just jerk it, you could possibly rip a great big piece off. I just love how the crispness of the edge just makes whatever you've done in the middle. And I will sign it. I just got to get the masking tape off so I can see where the edge is. Drum roll, please. And if you go slow, you can stop and maybe stick a little glue under the paper that's coming along with it. And we're coming up on that acorn that's going to give us a problem, I think. He's down here at the bottom. Oh, okay. Now I got to stop. And where's that exactly? Well, this will work. All right, where's the ruler? And I don't want to cut through my paper. So I want to just cut real careful. I should have been paying attention when I put the acorn down there. I might have pulled. Oh, no, it stayed. It looks a little weird there, but we're going to go with it. There we go. See, once you get the dirty edges all peeled off, it looks even more cool. You can see where I missed. I missed getting my tape over the other tape. So I've got a little black paint crept through. Oh, well, it happens. There we go. Doesn't that look pretty? Woo! And once it's all nice and dry, I'll write these prompts on the back and I'll put the date back there and stuff. But I'm going to date the front. And I've got a gold pen here. And I'll just put down here. And it is October 6th, 2021. There you go. It's signed and dated. So there he is. So thanks for coming and hanging with me. Remember, next week, bring those 3 5/8 by 6.5 envelope. You'll need, you can make the size you want, but let's just do 6 pages because you don't think about it. That 6 pages is a lot, but by the time you add a tag to every envelope and that kind of thing. So 6 of those envelopes and a paper pad of your choice. I'm going to look for a Halloween one or an autumn one myself. And we'll do that next week. I should be able to, I can whip together one as an example before then. Thanks, guys. I'll see y'all later. Hopefully see some of you in Ann's at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Good night.